How are you?
Oh, just ready to party.
Of course. The most glaring question right off the top of my head is, have we listened to Rhythm of the Night since the season started now?
Oh my gosh. Wow, it's been playing definitely at the Method House on repeat nonstop. It's so much fun. Like just seeing all the videos of people like jamming out in their cars and like tagging me. It seems crazy. Like you Google DeBarge and my picture shows up. It's wild.
I didn't even know that. That's so funny. Congrats, you
Yeah,
are El DeBarge now.
I am. I'm him now.
It's just so exciting to see how far you've come. I think like, especially with those of you that make it to the finale, there's so much talk about scorecards and arcs and that sort of thing. And
Yeah.
I'm wondering, looking back on the season, would you pinpoint maybe a specific episode or challenge that you felt really defined the arc for you and kind of set the course for the end game?
I feel like in the beginning of the competition, I was really like intimidated by all the other girls, especially with, you look at their racks of clothes and all the amazing garments that they brought. Um, I definitely got in my head. And I think that was something where once I finally just like, relaxed and just started enjoying it again, that's when things started going good. I would say it would probably be the Rusical. I remember in my diary, I kept a diary during the show, and I was like, I'm going to be in the top for the Rusical, and this is my story arc change, and I'm going to be in the top from now on. And that's what happened. So that's when I really just tried to start having fun.
I have so much sympathy for you guys because this is such a weird season, and it's
Mm-hmm.
all kind of been in this vacuum because of quarantine and whatnot. Has that changed the way? I mean, do you think it changed the way maybe you've viewed the season and your own arc? I think you're certainly more online and more in there with fans on social media than you would have been, right?
Yeah, it's so crazy because, you know, especially like in the one woman show, I feel like that's the one time where we had a live audience, and that's when I think a lot of us thrive, like being around like other people. So it is weird to not have that presence at the club or watching it at viewing parties. But I have enjoyed like watching it and enjoying the show like on my own at home. Definitely it's like been really intimate because I'm just watching it with my boyfriend. um, and I was kind of nervous about the show anyway, so I don't know. It's special that I got to enjoy it at my house, but it's also weird that the only interactions I have are online.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like impossible to keep up with all those messages. Um, but it is really, really fun. I love memes so much.
What's been your favorite one you've seen, or favorite? Yeah, what's the favorite meme you've seen based off of like your time on the show?
Oh my gosh. There's the one where there's like, they took it from one of my YouTube videos, and it's like me searching who El DeBarge is. And then the list got longer and longer. And it's like Rue searching who Poppy is, and the Statue of Liberty searching who Britta is. And it's so funny.
Oh, that's so great. So, I mean, I think we also just have to talk about your fashion, your style. It's incredible. I mean, I think early on, your Nightmare on Elm Street runway and the fall runway,
Uh-huh.
oh my goodness, like that blew me away. That's one of the more gorgeous things I've ever seen on the show. And you've kind of kept that bar so high. But as far as I know, I mean, you're a pretty thrifty queen, which I do mean in the best way possible. Do you
Hmm.
where do you find everything?
Well, yeah, I think that's just something that comes with being from a smaller town, and like we don't really have that culture of working with designers and wig stylists. It's all about just like finding it yourself. And my family, like just growing up, they were always going to garage sales and finding stuff at a bargain. So it's just I've always kind of done that. Um, and I I started like thrifting and like dressing myself when I was about 18. Like that's when I really like stepped into like my personal style. And like it was crazy because I started getting like promotions at my jobs because I was dressing nicer, and so I just have always really tried to dress to impress in and out of drag.
Yeah, I mean, and you definitely impress. Now I'm curious though, how long has the mullet been around?
The mullet, I've been growing it for like 2.5 years, I want to say.
It's beautiful. I love it
Thank
so
you.
much.
And it's just it's getting longer and longer. I can't wait till it touches my butt.
Since we're heading into the finale, I'm so excited to see you in there. What would a win mean to you? What do you think that represents, I guess, for the show and just drag in general?
You know, I feel like there's always like a kooky queen that does drag a little bit differently on the show. Um, but I feel like there truly hasn't been anyone that like takes the same approach to doing drag the way that I do. Um, and I think that it would really be like a push to encourage like more crazy things to happen on the show. Although, you know, I love like a gorgeous woman. It's just not like the thing that inspires me to like keep going.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think that's so true. And to tie it back into what you're saying about being from a smaller town and thrifting, I think you're a proof of what can be achieved if like this is if this is your passion, like go for it, because you can really just make beauty and magic happen out of things that you find in your hometown. It's so great.
Oh, for sure. And that's one of my favorite things that came from me doing drag is I didn't realize how involved I was going to be with my community. And just going out to public events and taking pictures with kids and all of that, that has always been some of my favorite things to come from doing drag.
That's so great. I think just looking back on the season, I'm curious, and I've been wanting to ask everyone this, but who was the guest judge that like felt most helpful to you or was most exciting?
I'll never get over Whoopi Goldberg. That was so magical. I'm like, she is a witch. Like everything she said, I was just like, I wanted to just absorb all of it and remember it forever. Like I remember like going into that one woman show, like I like cried right before I went on stage with them because I was just so nervous. And there was just something about her that like once I stepped on the stage, I just felt totally comfortable.
Yeah, she's a calming presence, and like she does have all this wisdom, but it just kind of like rolls off of, you know what I mean? She just spouts it out. There's
Yeah.
no effort. It's just that's who she is.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, that's probably my answer too. I think that's fair to say. Um, Jumping off that, have you heard from, since the show's been on, have you heard from any like big celebrity fans, or have you had any fun like interactions with anyone that's been like, oh, I love your work?
I think my favorite interaction was when like I tweeted out who wants to see a Poppy collab and the Poppy account retweeted it and said, we do.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for my feature on Poppy's next album.
I was gonna say we're gonna hold you to that because
Yeah.
it sounds amazing. Looking back, is there one thing you wish you had brought with you, clothing wise, or even just mentally? Is there something you wish you had coming into this season?
You know, I felt like getting ready for the show, it was like I was packing my bags up to the last second to try and get to the airport on time. And some of the girls were so prepared. They had like binders of photographs of all the looks they had and what hair went with what, and like pictures of what their face looked like and notes for every day from their friends to read. I would have loved to have something like that because I definitely just was there. So I would have loved to have something like a little home, something to remind me of home or something like that.
That's very special. That's a great answer. Well, that was our last question. Thank you so much and congrats. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you,
It's so
thank
exciting.
you.
And you look amazing today. So thanks for turning it out. That is so great.
Of course.